Welcome to the Radiance Self Podcast, a space where we awaken the light, the power, and the beauty that lives within you. I am Nina, a feminine embodiment coach, intuitive guide, and yoga and Ayurveda practitioner, and I'm a woman who has walked the path from self-doubt to self-love. For years, I struggled with confidence, the image, and feeling disconnected from my own radiance. But through the sacred practices of self-love, embodiment, and ancient wisdom, I reclaimed the vibrant woman I was always meant to be. Now it's my mission to help you to do the same, to reconnect with your body, your heart, your soul's deepest desires, and to step into the magnetic, radiant woman you already are inside. Here, we will explore everything from self-love, divine feminine energy, wellness rituals, body confidence, intuitive living, and spiritual awakening, all through real conversations, practices, and soul-nourishing wisdom. This is your time to rise. Let's begin your journey back home to yourself. It's not easy to feel radiant in a culture obsessed with youth, diet fads, and impossible beauty standards. We are constantly bombarded with messages to tell us that we are too much, not enough, too old, too soft, too emotional. And we become radiant when we honor the sacredness of our female bodies, when we reclaim our stories, when we choose to see ourselves with compassion rather than judgment. Radiance is authenticity, it's vitality, it is the beauty that emanates from a woman who knows herself and loves herself through every season of her life. You may have experienced it when someone walks into a room and they have this special glow, attractiveness, regardless of whether or not they fit into some beauty standard. And this is because radiance is not about appearance, it's about energy. And this is the real radiance arises when you are deeply nourished, emotionally open, spiritually connected, and living in your truth. We experience radiance on multiple layers, which are all interconnected. On physical level, radiance can be the healthy, the vibrant glow of the body, like the sparkle in the eyes and open posture. Emotionally, it's the energy you carry when you feel deeply connected to joy, love, and self-acceptance. Spiritually, radiance is the light of your soul shining through you. It's the aura of authenticity and presence that can be felt even before anything is said. Energetically, in traditions like yoga, tantra, and ayurveda, radiance, sometimes called ojas, tejas, or prana, is the life force that flows when your mind, body, and spirit are balanced. So radiance is this natural, effortless glow that emanates from within when we are aligned, alive, and in our authentic essence. But sometimes it doesn't feel that way, does it? Sometimes, no matter how much we try to feel radiant, alive, and whole, life takes us on a very different landscape. I believe we have all experienced the feeling of being truly radiant and also the moments where we did not. And there was a time when I felt completely disconnected from myself. I struggled with my body image, I doubted my worth. I often felt like I was chasing this invisible standard of perfection and believing only if I could be better, I would be finally feeling beautiful, happy, and enough. And the truth is that the lives that we live don't always support us to live deeply connected to our inner radiance. We have busy lives, we are doing lots of things, we are taking on lots of responsibilities, and life can become just like a list of to-dos and everyone else's needs and everything else that we prioritize over ourselves. And if you're a mother like me, you have 100% experienced this. I was constantly pouring from an empty cup. My needs were pushed to the bottom of the list and I felt disconnected, mostly from myself. So I began this journey not of fixing myself, but of remembering myself. Radiance is often born from the darkness and initiations we never asked for, but which ultimately transforms us. A place where everything we thought we knew about ourselves seems to fall away. A place of deep uncertainty, grief, heartbreak, and ultimately transformation. This is what many traditions call the dark night of the soul. And when I look at my own experience and my own journey, I realized that I had to die a little to be reborn as the woman that I am today. And it wasn't through bypassing pain, but by holding it and sending it back to love. Radiance comes when we stop waiting for life to prove us that it's safe to shine. We decide, I will shine because I am. I will embody my radiance, not because I'm perfect, but because I am. And when I imagine radiance, I often see the rose, because the radiance is like a rose. My grandma used to grow these beautiful roses in her garden, and I was always attracted to them. Only now I understand that these are the symbol of the divine feminine. And the rose is radiant because she doesn't ask the world if it's ready for her beauty. She simply blooms, she radiates, without asking for permission. She protects herself with her thorns. She is strong yet soft. She has boundaries with an open heart. And when we embody our radiance, something beautiful happens. We become magnetic without trying. No manipulations, no games, no forcing. We start to attract not because we chase, but because we are. So the truth is, you are already radiant. Radiance is not something you earn. It's not something you find. It's something you already are. Underneath the layers, underneath the conditioning from family, society, relationships that told you you had to be more, to do more, to prove more to be worthy. But here is a secret. You don't need fixing. You are not broken and you are not missing anything. Your radiance, your power, your beauty is already within you right now. It's about peeling away all the layers that have hidden your true light. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who you should be. And there's a beautiful quote by Marianne Williamson. We were born with a natural tendency to love. Our imaginations were creative and flourishing. But somewhere along the way, we were taught to focus on fear. So fear is what we have learned, and love is what we were born with. And the spiritual journey, the journey of radiance, is simply about unlearning the fear and coming back to love. Because you don't need a new house, the new body, or the new relationship, the new job to be radiant. And yes, those are things, those are beautiful desires, and you are worthy of them, but they are not what makes you complete. You are already whole, and you are already enough. When we live from that place, we magnetize the right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences naturally, not from chasing, not from force, but from embodying the truth of who we are. Today, I want to share with you the steps that help me and that I know how to guide others through to unlock the natural radiance that lives within. But before I do that, remember that healing is never linear. It's not a straight staircase you climb where each step practically leads to the next. It's messy, it's beautiful, and it's circular, and sometimes you feel like you're just revisiting the same lessons over and over, but in truth, you are meeting them with a new eyes, new heart, and a deeper consciousness. So healing is asking for patience. It asks you to trust even when you feel lost, and trust that you're exactly where you need to be. So let's look at some steps. So the step 1 would be to honor your body as sacred, because it is a sacred vessel through which your light is expressed into the world. And for many years, I treated my body like a project, something to be fixed, to control, or to be punished. I would stand in front of the mirror, picking apart all the parts that felt less than perfect, thinking if I could only fix those things, then maybe I would feel beautiful. But the true radiance began when I stopped seeing my body as a project and I started seeing it as a temple. So I started doing this mirror work. Instead of examining where my skin would start sagging or checking how much of the pregnancy weight I would still carry, I expressed my gratitude for all the amazing things that my body made me do, feel, and experience. And remembering that it was this exact body that actually brought a new soul into this life. So whenever I catch myself checking for imperfection, I say out loud, thank you, I love you. And honoring my body also came in the form of nourishing myself with vibrant, nutritious food, moving my body not to shrink or to shape, but to make her strong and flexible, enjoy life. And I also allowed my body to move intuitively. I began to listen to my body's rhythms, honoring when she needed rest, honoring when she needed to dance, and honoring when she needed stillness. So when you trust your body, you become radiant from the inside out. It's also important, and we can share it as a step 2, is tending to the emotional heart. Our emotions are not burdens. They are the language of the soul. For the longest time, I thought I had to hide my emotions, to be strong, to be nice, and I thought crying was weakness. I thought anger was something to be ashamed of, and I thought vulnerability made me less lovable. But the truth is, emotions are energy emotions. When we suppress them, we dim our radiance. When we allow them to move, we glow. So tending to your emotional heart looks like feeling everything without judgment, practicing some techniques like EFT tapping, journaling your truth, letting joy and laughter flow just freely as tears. So when your emotional heart is open, you radiate vitality. Step 3 is reclaiming your feminine essence. And we live in a world that glorifies hustle, speed, and constant doing. But radiance is not born from pushing harder. Radiance blooms in softness, in surrender, in being. Reclaiming my feminine energy was one of the most powerful things I ever did. I started to honor my natural cycles, noticing when my energy was naturally inward or outward, and I started honoring that. I stopped pushing myself to be on all the time. I gave myself permission to rest, to create, and to receive. I began connecting with my sensuality, not for anyone else, but just for myself, through movement and through simply feeling beautiful in my own skin. So when you embrace your feminine nature, when you soften, when you slow down, when you listen and receive, you become magnetic without even trying, because you are aligned with the rhythms of life itself. Next steps, numbers 4, would be tending to the inner fire. So radiance also needs fire, your inner spark, and in Ayurveda, this is called tejas, the clarity, the brilliance, and the vitality that lights you up from within. There was a season in my life when my fire was very flickering. I felt dull, uninspired, and exhausted, and I realized I needed to tend to my fire. Practicing like yoga asanas, pranayamas, and kundalini kriyas helped me to ignite my inner fire again. But it also can look like creating boundaries and saying no, choosing the relationships that nourish me and not dim me. So when your fire is tended, your radiance shines through and it's unwavering. And step 5 is living authentically. For much of my life, I tried to be what the world told me I should be. The good girl, the perfect mother, the flawless coach, the woman who always looked put together. But every time I abandoned my true self to fit an image, my radiance dimmed. True radiance requires authenticity. It asks you to drop the mask. It asks you to trust that the real you, the messy, the wild, the beautiful, imperfect you is enough. I started speaking my truth even when my voice trembled. I started following the quiet callings of my soul, even when they didn't make sense to anyone. And in doing so, I felt more alive and more magnetic and more radiant than ever. Because authenticity is the beautiful, ultimate beauty secret. So today, you have received the map back to your radiance. Step 1 is to honor your body as sacred. Step 2 is tend to your emotional heart. Step 3 is reclaim your feminine essence. Step 4 is to tend to your inner fire. And step 5 is to live in authenticity. And every step brings you closer to the woman you were born to be. And you don't have to rush, you don't have to do it perfectly. This is a devotional path, a daily practice of love and remembrance. So if you take one thing from today's episode, let it be this. You are already radiant, and your work is not to become worthy, but to remember that you already are, and to live from this place moment by moment. And I invite you to set a sacred intention. What made you say yes to this journey of reclaiming your radiance? What old stories about yourself are you ready to release? Is that a story that you have to be the strong one, the perfect one, the story that your worth depends on your achievements, your appearance, or your role in someone else's life? This is your moment to gently and lovingly put down all these heavy stories, to step fully into the woman you were born to be. And as we move through this journey together, remember, this is not about doing it perfectly, it's about showing up for yourself again and again, and with love. And because radiant is a daily practice, it is a remembering. And because the world doesn't need more perfect you, but it needs more authentic you. Even the messy, the beautiful, the luminous self, all the parts of you. So let's take a few deep breaths, and if you can close your eyes and you can feel into this. What would it look like if today, and just for today, you fully embodied the truth that you are already enough? As we close today's exploration, I invite you to a small practice that you can carry with you. Take a deep, slow breath into your body and feel your breath stoking your inner flame. Feel your heart softening and opening. And whisper to yourself, my radiance is within me. It never left, and I'm willing to remember my light. Let the truth settle into your bones, because it is your truth. And the more you remember, the more your world around you will mirror it back to you. Thank you for sharing this space with me today. Remember that your light is never lost. It's just waiting for you to remember who you are. If today's episode spoke to your heart, I would love for you to share it with a sister who might need this message too. And if you feel called to dive deeper into this journey, come connect with me in the show notes and we can walk this path together. Until next time, keep shining and keep returning to your radiant self. I'm grateful to walk this path with you.